el lavatorio. Yo vine del lodo, ahora quieren fotos. Y vamos por todo, cocinando en el lab.
Welcome to another episode of the GMRT Experience. It's gonna be a good episode. We got some feminine love, feminine power in here in the house. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
So good.
Good. I don't know. How about we start with you guys introducing yourself, telling our audience a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive right into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Heather.
And I'm Tiffany.
Yes, and we are both moms, different types of moms. I'm a single mom.
And I have been married for 21 years, have 5 kids. So, yeah.
Thriving. I have
Yes.
3 kids. So we have 2 companies.
Okay.
And we're actually really excited. We are launching our YouTube channel this week, and that channel focuses all on mindset, body, and beauty.
All
So-
the good things.
Yeah, all the good things,
Yes.
all the good things. We've both had a lot of failures, a lot of setbacks in life, and we're really just here to make our mark on the world. And we're firm believers that everyone should make their mark on this earth.
So good. So what's the name of the channel?
It's Beauty Binge.
Beauty Bench.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
launches this week?
It does.
Yep.
Are you guys excited?
So excited.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all the things that I
Make sure you put
love.
the mic. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. All the things that I love to talk about. So it's not just one thing. We get to talk about a lot of different things.
So how did this partnership came about? Like you guys are superpower right here,
Yes.
connecting and then helping each other out. Because I understand the value of that. That's why I have a team and they empower me, and because I have them, we get better, and it's just like a flow that helps each other out.
Absolutely. We
Interesting story.
that is a very loaded question,
Yes.
Rainey, how we
Yep.
met. So we met actually through our now ex-business partner. Yeah, it's quite the tale. We discover that a lot of people have had, challenges
Yeah.
with
Bumpy roads.
partners, and so yeah, I do think that's something we should talk about today. It's
So-
something we're really passionate
Yeah.
about.
Go ahead.
But
Yeah, so we kind of met through work. We were working together and loved Heather's energy and her mindset and all of the qualities. And it was just kind of a realization, this is the partner I want.
So good.
So, yeah.
What
Yeah.
were you gonna say, Heather?
Oh.
You had something to say.
Yeah.
oh no, I can't recall anymore. But to go off of what Tiffany said, absolutely, I think we were just naturally attracted to each other. And after connecting, we realized that we really shared the same vision for business and life in general.
So you will say that has helped you guys as you're starting all these new adventures, business and all of that. Really take it from an idea to okay, we're gonna start this out because you're so aligned with the way you guys think and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's so much easier because we're on the same page. We have the same goals, and we just help each other out. So it's a lot of teamwork.
So are you single?
Me?
Yeah.
No, married.
Okay. So how does that dynamic? Because so you're single, you're married, so and your ladies are starting your own business. You got
Yep.
kids. I'm assuming your husband,
Yep.
your kid's dad. How does that work? Is that gets in the way or not really?
No, so this is something really important in life in general. This thing called balance, right? And so we're firm believers that you have to have balance in every area of your life. And because we're firm believers in this balance, right, we are able to do incredible things. So every morning, because we're so in alignment with our values, we both know, hey, we're working out before we go to work. We both know that our children in our relationships matter.
And they're being taken care of.
Yes, and they're being taken care of, exactly. So everything is so aligned in the way we think, in the way we process. It just has led us to a great amount of success.
Yes. And I think for myself, because I am in the stage that I am, where my kids are at age-wise, I'm able to do a lot more. I don't have the babies. I'm not changing diapers. They are self-sufficient. I can do a lot more. And so I'm ready to do other things. I'm ready to do the business things. And your kids are kind of in that same age. Yeah. Bracket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So good. So this leads to my next question. So explain to me a little bit more about your business. What do you guys exactly do? What's the goal? Where you guys want to take this thing? Like, because we have a lot of listeners here. A lot of them, most of them want to start a business, or they have a business, or they have a dream of starting a business. So I mean, I know you've had businesses before, but now you're starting something new. How does that work, and what's the challenge that you guys are going through right now as you're speaking? Because like we can talk about like the success, but I really like to focus on what goes on behind the scenes, what people don't get to see, and I really like that. Because many people, for example, I'll explain about my shoes. They just see the cool looking shoes, but they don't know what it took to get that client, the behind the scenes, and all that stuff. So would you ladies mind talking to me a little bit about that, and everybody here?
About how to maybe start up
Or the process that you guys are going through right now as you're starting your business, and explain more what it's all about, the business itself.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to it. So we have a cosmetics line, and then we have
What's the name of it?
Bella Marque.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where can people find it?
BellaMarqueCosmetics.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you for asking
Yeah,
that.
hey, shameless plug.
Yes. So we have the cosmetic side of it, where we will retail things direct to consumers. Then we also have another line of products that estheticians and cosmetologists use to do their services. So lashes and brows, all of the beauty things. And then our YouTube channel, which is a separate business. So we're running two businesses here. Kind of gets to expand on those things as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, so we sell, like, just for female viewers out there, right? Or men who have a partner, right?
Yeah.
We sell products like lip plumpers. Like every female wants like a beautiful lip plumper, right? So our line has a lip plumper. It has an eyelash extension safe like mascara. So we have a lot of just beauty products that our end goal, of course, is to get into Sephora, Ulta, Bloomingdale's. So we're on trajectory to do that hopefully next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
so we're
good.
super excited about it. Yeah, so these are products that estheticians also use, like false lashes on females, like I have. So everything you do to put a false lash on your eye, we sell.
Wow.
I know that's not in your space.
I mean,
It's
I
not.
didn't
I
even think
know
about.
you would look beautiful with longer lashes, but yeah. So those are kind of some of the products that we sell with Bella Marque, and then imagine like our YouTube channel. Now we can take these products and sell them on the channel, and then we can collaborate with other companies like yourself, right? And sell those products also on the channel.
Okay, that's making a lot of sense now.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like I'm assuming the cosmetic world or industry. I mean, there's a lot of women out there, and
It's
they love to
huge.
feel
Yeah.
beautiful. So you're in a good market, right?
The best.
Yeah, like,
And we're not going to stop too. We're not going to just stop with the products we have. We get to expand, and beauty is always changing. So we get to find all of those fun products. We just did a video on testing one
Oh, really?
on our channel. So
yeah.
the viewers will get to kind of see what that looks like. Well, what does testing look like?
Wow.
We're going to show them. So,
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like I like that.
yeah.
What do you guys do right now? Like besides the YouTube channel, like kind of market this thing. Like, is it on Instagram or what? What's the process with this?
So to market our aesthetics line. Yeah, exactly. So Instagram, YouTube, and then schools, influencers. So yeah,
Schools. That makes. I
like
bet
beauty
that-
schools.
I bet that's pretty good for you guys.
It's really good. And, you know, we've tried a little bit with the marketing, you know, Google ads, Facebook ads. It's hard.
Yeah.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs think, oh, I have this great product. All I'm going to do is run some ads on Facebook and it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It's a lot harder.
See,
than
and
it
this is
sounds.
what I wanted to ask because, like,
Yeah.
as you're starting a brand and all of that, we have this idea. Like, I had the same idea too. Like, yeah, I'm gonna run these ads and my product's gonna hit and I'm gonna make $1
Right.
million and I'm gonna be chilling.
Yep.
Right.
It didn't work out like that.
It's hard. It's hard
It's hard.
work.
Including for a product like yours, because I mean, I would assume women would just eat that up like that. But how do you put, especially here in Utah, like, is there like, because I know, like, I've noticed, especially this area, women, they take care of themselves.
Yes, we do.
Like, I used to live in Layton. I moved around here in Utah, but I noticed this Draper area is like top. And do you guys have a lot of clients around here? Is this like a good area for your product, or is it anywhere?
All of Utah. Utah sets a lot of beauty standards, but the whole country. I think some states are slower
Right.
with the trends, but eventually
Right.
they get it and they, yeah.
Yeah, but no, we're Utah based for sure right now. So we're tapping into other parts of the country right now. But yeah, it seems like Utah is the mecca for the beauty industry. Like a lot of the aesthetic companies are actually created in Utah. Most of them were created here.
Yeah.
Especially with lashes, we
Yeah.
set the bar
Yeah.
in a lot of ways
Wow.
with the eyelash extensions. You know what eyelash extensions are?
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have them, she does not.
She explained that. Yeah.
The
like,
first
I know
time
something,
I-
okay?
Okay.
The first time my husband saw me doing lashes, he's like, "It looks like you're doing surgery." And he's like, "That looks like something I would never want to do." It looks terrible.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, so we do set the standard on a lot of
Yeah.
beauty things.
Yeah. But really, to answer, because I do think this is important to talk about, you want to talk about behind the scenes with business, right? And what it takes to get a business going. Well, you know, just as we know, it's a lot of hard work that goes into starting a company. And what's most important, I know that you run your company on your own, but what's most important is the people you choose to do business with. And so the reason why our companies have the success that they do so early on, and we believe will continue to, is because of our firm partnership. You know, we started this, well, I actually originally came into it with a partner that was just out of alignment with our energy, with our vision. We were just off. And so as people are going to start a company, if you plan on doing that with someone, that, like a marriage, will be the number one most important partnership you will ever pick.
Wow.
And so we highly suggest that your vision is the same, that your energy is the same,
Yeah.
and that your discipline is the same. You know, I was attracted to Tiffany because, I mean, I am a visionary. There is no limits or caps to my thinking. I am very abundant in my thinking. And it's interesting when you converse with people and you say, oh, I think that we should get a company private jet membership, right? Or, hey, let's get custom shoes made with Rainey. Or, hey, let's take this thing global. Or, hey, this can be $1 billion company. With other partnerships, there's been hesitation when I had mentioned these things, which shows a cap in their thinking, a cap in their vision. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so if you run into people and you cast your vision and there's any kind of hesitation, subconscious hesitation, that's kind of a red flag that you need to pay attention to
Yeah.
when creating a partnership with them. Same with energy. We are so motivated, we are so disciplined, and so our energy feeds off of each other, right? Just like your environment and who you associate with is the key to your success or demise.
And you know what's interesting, as you're talking about that, I've almost this year, I almost made that mistake twice. Twice. And these are people that I mean, they're still my friends. Still go, hang out with them and all of that. But the first time that it happened, I realized when I said no, because I was gonna bring an investor. Because in my head, I'm like, I needed that in my head at the time. And the offer was made, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I can do all of this with this money, get all this equipment, all of this, blah blah blah. But I wasn't aligned. Like, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, this is the good thing. I have good people around me, people that have done it.
Yep.
They've made the money, they lost the money, and I asked everybody, hey, what do you think about this? And they all told me the answer that I wanted to hear, which is don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm glad I didn't, because now I look back at it, and like after I was like, you know what? If this is gonna take me 5-10 years to build it to the way that I know I want to take this by myself with my people, I'm in. I have nowhere else to go.
Yep.
And then everything changed for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I've made mistakes and had failures with a couple different business ventures. And I've recognized that and fixed that now, where I thought I could make up for that energy. Like, it's fine, or maybe I wasn't deserving of it. And now it's just a hard line. Like, the people in my life, the people that I work with, gotta have that high energy to work with. So.
Yeah. And I liked what you said, Rainey. You were aware and you were in tune with your intuition. And so I think in business and in life, right, in general, always being in tune with yourself and just practicing being quick to be aware,
Yeah.
right?
I think we ignore that sometimes too. I know I have. Like, you feel that, like you talked about, you feel that
Yeah.
in your gut. Maybe you take too long or to make the right decision and, get on the right path. So
Right.
yeah, I think like listening to your gut and those inner thoughts is right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. With our partnership that we kind of have broken, I mean, it took me 4 months. It took me 4 months to realize, hey, this is not going to work, you know, and it's time to end things and go our separate ways.
And that's okay too.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, it's okay to
Absolutely.
have, yeah, to leave and recognize we don't work very well together.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's a blessing,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's a good blessing, because then you know, like, hey, we're not meant for. We could be friends, but not right here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, just be very careful and picky
So
about who you choose to go to business with.
So with that, I'm gonna skip a few questions. I'll go back to that because we're talking about behind the scenes. I'm interested to see like your feminine perspective in the business world, because it's mainly dominated by guys. I got all the money. I do all this,
Yep.
yelling, you, all of that.
Yep.
A lot of what I do, I have to, like, the creativity flows by me staying grounded. I've noticed, like, yeah, I'm a very masculine guy, but I also love that feminine energy because it keeps me, like, on good creative flow. And I've noticed women tend to notice things that men just don't even look. Like, they just pass by it. And I'm that guy, especially when I go to, like, high-level masterminds. I'm the guy that, like, I don't even like talking to a lot of people. People think I'm very social guy, but I'd rather not talk to anybody because I like to observe. And I notice, how those energies flows, what the woman is. If it's a guy, like the speaker is talking, what is his wife doing? How is she, like all those little things. I love that. I want to hear more what you think about, like, what's your perspective on the business world as a woman and all that stuff, the cool stuff. Give me the good sauce, the good stuff from your
Yeah,
perspective.
I think we've come a long ways. So how long ago was this? I was in the workforce working for a company here in Utah. They were a big company, had a lot of diet and beauty products, and I worked in the marketing department and had to work with a couple men. That was interesting, and I don't feel like I felt a lot of respect. I mean, I respected them, but just the way they treated you was a little condescending. So that was a long time ago. That was like 15, 16 years ago. We've come a long ways. I feel a lot more respect from men towards women in, hey, they can do this. They're smart. They're talented. You see a lot of husbands kind of, their wife is the breadwinner, and they're like, dang, you can do really well. So yeah, I think we've come a long ways as a society, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think just the differences in men and women, right? Men are far more logical and women are far more emotional, right? It goes back to the hunters and the gatherers. The men just went and got the food, where the women had to be very specific, right? With their weaving the baskets, with nurturing, with navigating exactly how to explain where they found the berries and all of that. It's this hunter-gatherer thing. And I do think, like Tiffany said, we have come a long ways. I experienced something actually in my marriage. I started a company and I had to work. And I had to work hard. And so I remember it caused friction because the house duties weren't getting done like they were previously, right? And then so he saw me kind of stepping more in my masculine and having more success and taking on that role, and it caused friction, right? And so I think men should be supportive if a female has a goal and a vision to create something. I think some are good at supporting and some are not.
You know, that's interesting because I've dated girls that, you know, like they don't have a business, they just living their life and all that cool stuff. And
What do you think?
and it was cool, it was fun, but it was like, you know, I was, you know, I couldn't explain them the lifestyle, especially when you're on the building stage. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like, I gotta pay the bills. I got employees. I got no other option. I'm not collecting a paycheck here every 2 weeks. But I also, now I understand, because I have coaches right now that help me with relationships. Even though I'm not married, I'm not dating anybody, I'm prepping myself for that. And I made that mistake. And then one time I dated a woman that was too much on her masculine. And that was bad. She's a very beautiful woman. Like, and I would tell her, you're so freaking hot, but you're on your masculine all. And she was in this world like corporate, you know, woman and dealing with, and I get it. I'm like, you have to be that way because you're in that world. But as a man, it didn't. I was like, I can't. And she's very, very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that. I've struggled with both. Now I kind of have a balance, you know. Like, I also understand as a man, I gotta be, I gotta open up my woman emotionally and all that. It's not like, yeah, you do this way, all of that.
Sure.
I understand all of that, but I've had very interesting things happen because of that.
Yeah, so you're attracted to this goes back to balance again,
Yeah.
Rainey, right?
Exactly.
Balance, like,
I'm attracted to a little bit of both.
right, and that's where balance is so important. So we obviously have to run in our masculine, but we are so balanced where we still take care of ourselves. We still do the feminine things. And we're in the beauty industry,
Yeah.
right? But yes, I love the balance. See, when I was married, I was a stay-at-home mom. I ran in my feminine. When I got divorced, I immediately had to figure out how to make that switch and go into my masculine because now I'm the provider. Now I don't have a husband to say, hey, can you come, you know, like paint this wall for me or change this light bulb or fix the TV or, you know, do yard work. Like, now it's all me. Now I have to take on the feminine and the masculine role. And so it was this huge switch that I had to learn to run in that masculine. And I did that for a while. And now I feel like I've been able to kind of hone back and find a better balance for myself for sure. Because I love being feminine. I love it.
We kind of talked about we're both a little masculine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because we don't get our feelings hurt very easily,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, yeah, one thing like my mother-in-law noticed about me very soon was like, you're kind of I'm not the man in the relationship. Like, my husband is very manly. He's got big muscles, like lots of testosterone going on there. But my dad actually raised me. So I just have a different personality. I like the drama. I'm not into that. Like, because I think my dad raised me, it was like, you didn't have time for the emotions. Like, no, you just do it.
Yeah.
Like, you just go to work and do it. Like, you don't whine. There's no crying. Like,
Yeah.
there's no crying in baseball. You know that phrase. But yeah, so he raised me, and I'm just like a little bit tougher. So, yeah, I don't know if you feel the same way.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, Rainey, do you find girls to be emotional?
Uh,
Maybe,
here-
let's just throw it out there. Emotionally weak.
Like, do
weak.
they cry?
well,
weak.
I don't.
Yeah.
Get their feelings hurt.
Well, here's
Kinda-
the thing. I've learned. This is what I've learned from my own personal experience. That when a man has a mission, a purpose, takes care of business, and you can open up your woman, you know, you make her feel safe. And I've had to work on that because there's been relationships that I'm like, dude, I really wanted to work that out. But guess what? I had to look at the man in the mirror and I'm like, dude, I fucked up on some things too. It was not just her. I had just as much fault as she did. And I've realized that, you know, emotions don't get me too crazy because I mean one of my employees, she's a girl, so she's actually helping me right now be a better leader because the way I talk to Ozzy and coach Ozzy it's not the same way I'm talking to Sierra. Like it's completely different. I go deeper with her emotions. I use different words. Like I can't be like right to the point like how I go with Ozzy. It's complete. And I even tell her, hey, you're making me a better leader. I'm learning because of you. So yeah, some women are emotional, but I also feel like, you know, as what I've seen as you start climbing the ladder of success, whatever that may be to people, but for me, it's like you start attracting more of what you want and less of what you don't want. And I really focus on that. So if I don't put up with a lot of things like, you know, I'll give people some passes, but it's very few because, for example, like, I don't know, like, dating right now is wild. That's why I don't do no dating apps. I was literally talking to one of my friends today about this. He's like, he was, are you dating? I'm like, bro, I'm just like living my life and see if I meet somebody along the way. But it's like, dude, like dating girls around my age and a little younger is wild because they're all over the place. They have a lot of like baggage, and I'm not saying I don't have any, but at least I'm working through them. I can admit like, hey, yeah, I messed up or something, but a lot of people can't do that, and it's hard. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't date at all.
What's that,
Not
Heather?
ready. No, she's not ready.
Some of the guys are gonna be listening to
No,
this.
stop. You know, we care about growing our company.
Yeah, that's
and like you
nothing
said,
bad
if
about
it
that.
happens, it happens, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
part of the
exactly.
balance of life, recognizing what you can take on,
Yeah.
right? And not
Right.
taking too much on with relationships,
Yeah.
business,
Yeah,
being smart about it and timing.
And I learned that this year, so like I was telling you off camera. So this year, I gave my life to God. I found God. Like I literally, now I have a relationship with God, Jesus, all of that. And one of my biggest theme was women. I love women, but I was like, you know what? After I started learning all this stuff, like. I'm on a 1-year Bible program right now. I'm about to finish here in January, and next year I'm going to be serving. But one of the things, the rules that they had, it was like no sex, no drugs, and no living with your partners if you're not married. And I read the rules, and I told the pastor of my church, I'm like, I ain't going to join this program because I'm doing every single one of these things I'm not supposed to be doing. He's like, dude, just come, join. God will change you. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I was going through my life, you know, dating and all of that. And, you know, I actually did a podcast, which is my most listened episode ever, which is, I don't know who's listening to that, but it was called Celibacy, No Porn, No Jacking Off, No Sex, No Woman.
Oh, I saw that title. Yeah.
Yeah. And I went through that because I used to think that my personal life wouldn't affect my business life. I was like, yeah, I can have all the fun in my personal life, and then once in the business, it's like I'm a new man. And it was not true. And after learning what I was learning at church and all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this thing a try. And then I did it. I became a celibate, man, and I was like good for like almost 4 months. And I'm telling you, I was a different man. I'm still celibate. I'm still walking that path. I had one hiccup one time, and I was very public about it, like because I want to help other guys too. Because guys don't talk about this. They keep it on the back.
Yep.
And man, it was like literally this summer was the best summer of my life.
Amazing.
My business grew. I was sharp. My employees were like, they were like, dude, what's different about you? And I can tell you it was because of that. It was truly because I was like, I'm gonna treat my personal life like it's a temple.
Yep.
And you changed the whole thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of agree, like, spiritual health is very important and vital, and those areas bleed in to different aspects, like, of your business. Like, if your spiritual health isn't good, if your mental health isn't good, that's going to affect your work life and your business as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Going back to balance, right? All these things just have to be, all of them you have to pay attention to each of them.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer that we are energy. We are these godlike quantum energetic beings. And when we are true to who we are as a being and are in total energetic alignment within ourselves, then everything can flow in life. So perhaps when we do things that are against who we are as a being naturally, it can cause friction, right? In business, in our relationships, in our finances, and everything. So maybe this path you went on just put you back into that, right? Like this godlike, energetic being.
100%.
Right? That now
100%.
everything in life just flows effortlessly.
100%.
You're just in continuous flow state.
Yeah, and one thing that, like, as I was walking this path, it doesn't mean that it gets easier. Like, it's actually, I have a lot of challenges. Like, I get, life is hard.
Yeah.
But what I realized is that if I'm in that constant alignment, those bumps, I can get out of them super quick. Before, these things will drag on weeks, months, years. Now it's like, oh, I'm having an off day. Okay, let me switch back up, and then I'll start like worshiping, or I go walk the dog. I do little things. I have things in place that bring me back to who I know I am, and it flows so good.
1,000%. We were actually just talking yesterday. Have you read The Untethered Soul?
No, what's it called?
Right? Yeah. Listen to this if you haven't, or read it. The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Okay. So he talks about that very specific thing, allowing all energy to flow into the heart and flow out of the heart, including positive energy. Right? And so when you practice keeping your heart open always and letting the bad things, right, that come to us, that happen in all areas of life, letting those come in energetically and then letting them flow out energetically, as well as the good. I mean, how many times have you heard someone talk about their glory days back in college and it was 20 years ago? You know what I mean? It's also letting the good moments in our life flow into the heart and flow out of the heart. And so you're constantly remaining open.
So good.
Right. Which allows you to be in consistent and continuous alignment.
Wow. That's really good. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, maybe just to add to that, like, yeah, not getting stuck in the past. I think a lot of us can. Oh, I was this, that, or the other. I'll never do better. Of course you will. Like, keep trying and growing. And a lot of spirituality it's not about perfection, but it's about trying. So, like, even when you make mistakes, that's okay. People will get so stuck on that and not let that go. Oh, I made this mistake. I'm not worthy. I'm worthless. That's not true. This life is a growing experience. Like, allow yourself to make mistakes and then keep working on yourself. Keep growing. It's a process. It's not going to happen in really fast, and that's okay.
And you would say that, part of all this alignment, it flows back into the business, right? Into your creations, the ideas, like, yeah, we need to do this, we need to do all of that, like, it flows into that.
1,000%. Oh yeah, 1,000%. And what's interesting, right, as you stay in that flow space, people you need just magically appear in your life.
Yep.
Have you had that?
Yep.
It's like I was showering today, and we really needed a particular statement. And so I was just like in this flow state, kind of manifesting and thinking all the things and really trying to stay true and honest to me at all times. And I got out of the shower and there was a text message with the exact statement I needed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it just happens. And so
I think that goes to show your positivity. Sorry, speaking into the mic. Your positivity is such an important thing to me. I do not do well with negativity or people that are negative. I am always like the glass is half full type of girl.
Me too. I can't stand people with
Yeah.
like that. Like, oh yeah, like it's just like they just bring you down. Even if you say that, yeah, it doesn't affect me, it does.
Yeah.
It does. So I have my own men's mastermind. So we meet the last Thursday of every
why
month.
can't women come, Rainey?
I'll answer you that. So actually, that's a good question. Actually, I
Boys
love to,
only.
I love to answer that
Our
question.
female only group
Yeah.
starts next
Hey,
Thursday.
do it. I'll be your keynote speaker for the first one.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll tell you why it's only men's, because I go to a lot of masterminds and business and stuff, and it's all transactional. You do this, I do that, like we work. I was like, yeah, I like that. It's cool. There's nothing bad about that, but I wanted to start something that I can bring some of my friends and people that I don't know. They invite some of their friends. And yeah, I bring a keynote speaker. I've had Sean Finnegan. Last Thursday we had the two pastors, his wife, and him speak. I've had a bunch of very successful people at different levels, and they talk. But the purpose of the mastermind is to have a brotherhood of men that help each other, and we keep each other accountable. So, and I've been very open. Like, I tell guys, hey, some of the struggles that I've dealt with, they're on my podcast, but if you want to go deeper, this is where we talk. So we all break off, and I encourage them, if you have, if you're struggling with pornography, if you're cheating on your wife, like, what stays in the room stays in the room, but I have good people in the room that could help you out. So I don't have just Christian guys. I have some successful friends. That one of my best friend, he's been married for like 40 years, Scott Travis. He's the one that painted that Jesus and all these other stuff that I have here. Same thing, he has a relationship group for a married couple, and it's $5,000 if you want a one-on-one with him. But I get him in the room, and he helps other people. So it's all about that. And a lot of guys that probably won't feel comfortable talking about that in front of women. So I want to create a safe space that let's talk about it and see how we can help you. And you have some brothers that can, be like, hey, bro, like, That's not you. Like, get your shit together, man. So that's why it's only men.
I love that.
Yeah, and I love that, especially because you're helping men also talk about their emotions. You're helping them do that. And a lot of men struggle to talk about their emotions. And so that will affect your marriage, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in a marriage where you can't openly express yourself and talk about your emotions and really talk about how you're feeling, that is going to cause issues. And so I love what you're doing because perhaps now they can go home and practice that with their wives. That is one thing that's huge. Me and my ex-husband, we talked about this actually in a video post-divorce, where had we been able to really, really express how we felt and see the other person's perspective, right? It probably would have saved our marriage. So all these men, if they can go home, share openly and honestly with their wives how they're feeling, and she has the ability to understand him where he's at, and he can understand her, that will save most marriages alone.
Wow.
I am a firm believer in that.
That's really
But you
good.
have to be able to understand the other person's reality,
Yeah.
right? Because the way you just heard what that person said is totally different than the person right next to you, right?
Yeah.
You both heard the same message, but you decoded that message differently.
Yeah.
So you need to understand how the other person, right, is decoding the messages.
It's all about communication.
Absolutely.
And you're right about that. A lot of guys struggle with that. They struggle with it because it goes back to that they got to keep that persona that they have it all figured out. And literally, I tell the guys here, like, your ego stays out the door or you ain't coming back here.
Yep.
Because I don't need another front. I can go to another mastermind and get that.
Yep.
This is a different type of mastermind. You will get the business deals. Like, I will put successful people in the room, but that's the last thing I want to do. Talk about just business, because what I've noticed from my own personal experience, going back to, being aligned. The moment I started getting aligned, dude, I could connect with anybody. Like the connections were just right in front of me. So imagine if you give, because it happens, I've had it with a few members, like you give somebody the tools, but they're not aligned.
Yeah.
They're not, like they have too much chaos going on. They're not going to be able to apply anything at all. So yeah, it's thank you. Yeah, maybe I should have you ladies one time come and just speak to these men.
Well, I'll go talk to those men.
We can give you some perspective on women. I think
Do it, please.
that's
Guys, pay attention,
oh
please.
boy.
Write it down.
It's like safety and security. I mean, that's
Yep.
number one for women. They want to feel safe and secure in the relationship. So
And heard.
yeah,
And heard.
so
Do
we could do a whole nother.
I
Yeah,
know
right.
we got.
Where I think men want to feel appreciated.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like
That's true.
we all kind of want these different things. And so it's really important to communicate about this. I mean, I could go all day because I've been divorced. and now I can see where I fell short. Like I take full accountability
Relationships
for, yeah.
are always two-sided. Always.
Absolutely.
It's never just one person.
No.
Well, that was a plus. That was a bonus, because that was not even on the agenda. So that was good. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving me and all whoever guys listening to this that feminine perspective on how things are. Because like we were talking about it, a lot of guys just hold everything back, and they're like, "Yeah, she's crazy." She's like, and I get it. Like guys, sometimes we're all over the place as well. But what I've noticed, kind of what we talked about, the behind the scenes, is that a lot of these guys, they have a big ego. And then the ego doesn't allow them to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not right about that. Maybe I need to just kind of like be quiet and just listen. So,
Yeah, she's like,
give her the mic.
Sorry.
Give her the mic, please.
But I'm going to talk both sides.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. All right. So, I've been divorced 15 months now. Okay. My ex was a doctor, a very successful one. Okay. So,
What kind of doctor?
a surgical prosthodontist. Just rebuilt your mouth. So, incredible man. Love him. So, as he was going through schooling and then starting a practice, and that comes with a lot of debt, right? He was really struggling. Okay, and you have a lot of business owners and probably a lot of wealthy business owners that listen to this podcast, okay? So I thought during the course of our marriage, everything was okay. I thought he was okay. I thought business was okay. I thought, everything was great because that's what I was told. And then as our marriage was ending, he opened up and shared that for years he was waking up in the middle of the night with like cold sweats, hot sweats, having heart palpitations, extremely stressed, extremely overwhelmed, just had this massive dark cloud over him, scared to pay this amount of debt off that he had. Like all of these things that he was feeling that he kept in that I never knew about, ever, for years. And so when I would act in my daily life and maybe go spend money, and then he would get upset that I spent money. But I only heard that things were great, but yet that triggered him, right? Because I was spending money. And so now he's becoming resentful and angry because of the things I'm doing, right? And so had I had known that he was struggling so much emotionally and internally, I could have been a better support for him. I could have shown him love. I could have changed my actions and the things I was doing, right? Spend less money, show more appreciation, right? I could have completely adjusted my behavior to help him feel differently, supported, appreciated, all of those things, right? And so not saying that that was wrong, but a lot of men don't communicate and share reality. And then that causes divorce.
Yeah.
Right? And so I would just say communicate. And then wives, this is super important for females. Super, super important. We have to hear them. Right? We have to give them a safe space to share. And they have to feel appreciated. And you want your man to feel appreciated, right? And supported.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so, be good to your men, right? And support them and stand behind them. Had I known so many things, I would have done so many things differently, right? But females need to understand what their husbands are going through.
Yeah.
Because we're starting a company and it is hard work. You work all day, you work all night, you're stressed, you got to pay bills, you got to do all these things, right?
Yeah.
And so the wives really need to be able to understand what they're going through and support them through that.
So good.
That's my 2 cents.
No,
Anyways,
that makes a lot of sense because actually we talked a little bit about it on my men's mastermind this month. The topic was family. And and then the two pastors, they're obviously they're married, and before they moved to Utah, they run a very successful business and all of that. And I got going back to my other friend Scott Travis, same thing. He's run multiple 8-figure companies, and then he moved to Utah. Now he's an artist, and there's a common factor on those two relationships, and the ones that I've seen that work is like the woman, they're open with their woman. They tell them, hey, this is what's going on, this is where the business is. They got access to their world. It doesn't mean that she goes tells, hey, you need to do that this way. She just knows, she's aware what's going on, and she can give an input, and then from that, okay, we'll see how we move. So I've noticed, it's, after you saying that, I'm like, oh, dude, Scott talked about it. The pastor talked about it, so it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, good.
I don't have the same experience because my husband's a mental health therapist, so he shares a little too much. He's very in touch.
Very open?
I know exactly what he's feeling.
you can't
I can't
You
relate.
can't make women happy. Share too much, don't share at all.
I know.
What's the balance?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the balance is. I would say to over communicate, if anything.
Absolutely.
I mean, because, yeah, and that's where my fault has been is just holding stuff in and not saying anything. And I'll just do it. I'll just get the things done. I'll just do it. So instead of just learning, I think a lot of women do this. There's a lot of passive aggressiveness where we don't just say what we want. Just say it. Ask for it. It took me a long time to do that and feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's literally like, I got a buddy of mine, we did a podcast one time, and we talked about like, a lot of women, like, they just don't tell you what they want.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, just tell me. Like,
The notebook.
I've worked all
What
day.
do you want?
I worked all day. Like, these clients were like crazy today. My employees are like, just tell me what you want, please.
Yes. Because
Why
I don't
don't
know.
we say
I don't
what
know.
we want?
You can answer this, but you don't know, right? We don't think the same. I think we expect men to just know what we want, and maybe this sounds mean, but they just don't.
We
Unless
don't.
you
Unless you tell them.
specifically, and I don't know, I hate that because I guess I feel like a nag, but asking, I need this, and this, but if you don't ask it,
I
then
had
you're
a
just-
dating coach, and he used to talk
Dating
about
coach?
yeah.
Do I need to get one of those?
But honestly, I've tried everything because I'm telling you, once that woman comes into my life, I've done the work.
that's
Okay,
awesome.
and I'm still doing the work.
She better be doing it too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I ain't putting up with.
Oh no,
I'm not putting up with BS.
Yeah.
Me neither, Rainey.
No BS here. No BS allowed.
Dude, we go to the same masterminds.
I'm
I
telling
see you everywhere. Like, we are aligned in that.
Yeah.
Right? Work on yourself.
You have to work on yourself.
Yes.
But my coach, or the dating coach, he used to say, men's are like dogs. You tell us like sit, we sit. Move, we move. Treat, we eat the treat. And he would say women are like cats. You can't chase them because if you try to grab the cat, it's gonna run away. So he had this crazy analogy like women are like cats, men are like dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hey,
Opposite in a lot of ways, for sure.
I mean, I love this conversation. Like, like it was not planned, guys, but for the boys out there, you're gonna get a lot of game. Apply that, and your DMs are gonna be like exploding. I'm telling you.
Just communicate.
Just communicate.
You know what, though? I think a lot of people, though, don't say what they want because they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast, though, right? A lot of people don't have any idea what they want.
That's so true.
You know what, right?
Well, that's
It's
true.
like, how many times have you asked a girl, well, where do you want to go out to eat? Well, I don't care.
I don't do that.
Well, I don't know. Oh, you don't?
No, I make the plans.
Oh, see, that's manly.
You
Men
show
make
up.
your plans.
This is the time.
is
There's
where we're going.
reservations.
What if
because-
I don't want that, though?
see?
You say it. Then you say it.
doesn't happen a lot.
Instead of resenting him,
Yes,
then you say, no, let's go somewhere else. Otherwise, you'll resent him.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
literally what happens.
Yeah.
See, we can't make you girls happy, man.
I'm
There's
teasing.
not a winning.
I am teasing.
I'm just giving you crap. No, like I like to like lead. I'm a leader. I'm not saying like, yeah, you gotta do it this way, but especially like right now where I'm at, I don't have a lot of free time. So if I make plans with somebody, like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show up. Like it's prepared. You know,
Saves
it's
a
like
lot
we're
of
not
time.
wondering like, oh, I wonder if Johnny or whoever that person, whoever you're hanging out with is gonna show up. Like, and that's what I like because I treat my personal life like business too. Like if I have a client, I put it on my calendar. I know they're gonna show up. I'm prepared. Same thing with my personal life. Like put it on my calendar. I show up. I'm prepared. I'm not messing around because there's
You're
not.
reliable.
Yeah, you don't got time for that, man. Like if
Right.
not, you're like, what are we doing here?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that being reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We don't even know.
Where are we
I
at?
mean, we got a little bit of time. I wanna get into for you, Heather, because I know you love to travel.
Yeah.
You know, you travel a lot. Like I like traveling. I haven't been doing it in a while, not just because of work, but what like? I mean, I think I know why you love traveling, but what do you like traveling, and what's the favorite place you've been to? What does it do when you leave town and just like experiencing things? Like I knew you were in Peru one time and checking things out, like because I know like I'm from Venezuela. People here in America, they think like the world is this until you go to another place and you realize that, dude, we're so fortunate here. I'm assuming that doesn't impact in your life, so just kind of want to talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So, I run my life off of experience. So I love experiences. So my kids for birthdays or Christmases, I create experiences for them instead of buying things because that far outlasts anything tangible that can be bought.
So good.
And so there's lots of reasons why I like to travel, but a change of environment is huge. When you go and put yourself in a different environment, it literally changes the physiology in your mind. So when you're going on and standing on a beach at the ocean and it's just warm and sunny, the way you feel in that environment is far different than standing up in our snowy mountains. Would you agree?
100%.
Right. And so inserting yourself into different environments will change you.
Yeah.
It will change who you are. And so, yes, I was just in Peru, and that completely changed me. That was a very spiritual trip, per se. And in that 2 weeks I was there, I basically fell in love with me. I became one with me. Peru is like a magical land. It's just like a blessed country. It's a blessed land. And so the experience I had there and the connection I acquired within myself was a life-changing experience, right? Versus like when I buzzed down to Mexico for the weekend, right? That's just like relaxing and amazing and the sun on your face or scuba diving. So you can just, this world is so full of rich, I don't know, experiences and beliefs that I believe all of us need to see.
So good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place you've been to? Peru?
Oh my gosh, I love probably Australia.
Oh, you've been there?
I've been there.
Did you fight some
I'd like to Africa
kangaroos?
too, but like Australia for me was just such a magical country. Everyone is nice. No matter where you go in the country, it's clean. People are just respectful. They take care of themselves. The food's organic and delicious. I dove the Great Barrier Reef. So just being, it's magical. I don't know.
So good. Do you have a favorite place you'd like to go or you've been to?
I love Hawaii.
Oh, I've
That's-
been there
yeah.
one time. It was really fun.
It's yeah,
That was really fun.
I've been twice. It's been my favorite place so far. And you're right, our country just here is beautiful. There's so many things to explore. I feel like I've explored our country a lot just in Utah. Like you can find a spot every weekend and just be in awe of the beauty that is
There's
here.
this place that I want to go here in Utah. It's like this cave, and there's like a not a river, but like it looks like a pool, but it's not a pool. And then there's like a hole in the ceiling or the cave, and you can look through the sky. Like it's like I have to look it up.
Where is that?
But
Lake Powell?
no, it's down south. It's like there's a lot of TikTokers that do a lot of content
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
The water's like like blue. It's here in Utah,
Yeah.
and it's a cave, and you jump in. There's the water. It's like super pretty, and then you can look and there's like
Let's
a
go.
hole, and you just look at the sky. And
Yeah.
I don't know
Let's
if
go.
it's man-made, but I don't think so because it looks like not
Yeah.
man-made at all. But
Amazing.
yeah, you guys need to check
Find
that
out. I want to go.
There's a lot of
I'm
cool
all over that,
places.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can Utah.
Oh, for sure.
Don't tell anybody though. We shouldn't even be talking.
No, we're not talking about Utah.
We'll tell Ulises, my guy, just to take that out.
Yeah,
of
just
the
slice it
podcast.
out. But what I do want to say is like traveling makes me live in such a space of gratitude. When I was in Africa, I went to what you would view Africa as. So we went there, I mean, sewage running down the middle, no kids with, hardly any clothes on, kind of that picture you get, right? Of when you think of a foreign country.
Yeah.
We spent the afternoon there. Literally 30 minutes later, I was standing inside Gucci.
What's that?
Gucci, like Gucci.
Oh,
Gucci.
okay. Oh, okay.
Like surrounded by Louis Vuitton,
After 30
Gucci,
minutes,
Dior.
oh my
Literally,
God.
that's how close the slums of
Really?
Africa are to just, right, complete wealth. And so to experience something like that, going from people who live with nothing to people who live with, quote, everything, right? It literally gives you such a strong perspective about who you are. Right? And living in a space of complete like gratitude and oneness every single day of your life. Right? Like gratitude for the abundant lives we live here.
So good.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah,
Gives you a lot of
perspective.
perspective.
Well, ladies, I want to honor your time. Is there anything you want to plug in here? I know you had some notes.
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
So, lastly, one of the last questions that I ask every guest that comes into the podcast is, right now in your current situation, what's something that you're grateful for? And it could be multiple things. Doesn't have to be one thing, but right now, where you are, what are you grateful for?
Just talked about this with some friends, but the number one thing for me is my healthy body. I just really appreciate that because it allows me to take care of my kids, run a business, do all the things that I need to do. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm also grateful for family and just those connections and relationships. And then what was the third thing? Oh, just living in a modern world with all the modern things.
That's
a
so
car to drive you somewhere. I mean,
know.
like, you don't have to ride a horse anywhere. My grandpa rode a horse to school. That wasn't that long ago, and just to think of all the things that we have. So I'm super grateful for that, and we don't have to live like a pioneer.
I know, that's really good. I didn't even think about that. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's the first one that I'm like, wow, that's shocking. Cause yeah, it's like in our everyday life we just kind of take it for granted.
Yeah, right. First thing honestly that comes to my mind is my kids. But also, to be honest, like what I'm most, well, not most, but what I'm really grateful for right now in my life is awareness. Like I'm super grateful that I am aware of my life. Like I lived in a space of numbness for quite some time where just I wasn't ever happy, I wasn't ever sad. I just kind of ran through the emotions of life. You know, you just kind of wake up, go to the gym, take care of the kids, clean the house, go to bed with your husband, and the cycle repeats, right? A lot of people just live in this state of numbness, you know, I call it. And I lived with no joy, but no sadness. And so I'm so grateful that I've worked on myself and my mindset and my spirituality, my relationships, just myself in general, to where I'm aware of my emotions and I get to feel them. I get to feel the joy. I get to feel the pain. I get to feel everything in my life right now. And I'm extremely grateful for that.
Wow, that's really good. That's so good. Wow, that like both of you guys' answers, like I don't even think about like, cause I ask this to everybody, but I'm like, you're making me think even more, and I appreciate that, cause I do this podcast just to have interesting conversations. Like, yeah, sometimes we have a plan, like we could talk about the business and all of that, but it goes back to what we were talking about. If we're not aligned, we can't do anything. You kind of gonna be forcing it. If people can really understand, like, that whatever you want to get or achieve in life, it comes with the alignment that you have to get. And that alignment, most of the time, is not even easy. It's probably very, very hard because you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. So I'm grateful for having you ladies here. Before I let you guys go and honor your time, where can people find you? Plug in your socials, plug in your website, your social security number, your Venmo, credit card, whatever
Just
you want.
Venmo
pay
for
my
sure.
bills. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll for sure add the Venmo and my phone number for I accept Apple Pay.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, right. No, like Tiff said,
Bella Marque, which is Bella Marque, Marque, because it is kind of a long, hard thing. BellaMarqueCosmetics.com, and then Instagram will be Bella Marque Cosmetics, and then our YouTube it's Beauty Binge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Heather?
hey, I'm with her. So
Same thing.
same
Together.
info.
Same thing.
Same
Same
info.
thing. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to this episode. There was a lot of wisdom in there, especially, we had a game plan, but we kind of went on a different route, but it was a good route. I don't think we've really talked about this a whole lot here on the GMRT experience, but I would encourage you guys to go back and re-listen to some of this stuff, because a lot of the things that we're setting here and what the ladies were talking about, apply it in your life, and you're going to see what it's going to do to you and make you happier. Get aligned. People need to be more aligned right now.
Yeah.
Get aligned.
Agreed.
The world needs that.
Yes.
Yeah, hashtag get aligned. And hey, Rainey, thank you for having
Yes,
us on.
thank you
Thank
so
you, ladies,
much.
for coming. and
I've
then-
loved getting to know you over the last year, so thank you. I love being with you.
Thank you. No, me too. And I'm excited to see the growth of your company. I know it's
Yeah.
going to be
Yep.
super successful. You guys, power, feminine power in there.
Yep.
So,
Boom.
all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.